Hi, I'm Wallace of Rural 2 Kitchen, and I've been brought up on this beef and sheep farm on the Isle of Arran, a beautiful hilly island off the southwest coast of Scotland. We're often known on the island as a tourism hub, which we definitely are, and we're proud of it. However, Arran is not known solely for tourism. It's a rich history of food production and local companies making best use of the produce to be sold on the island. In recent weeks, a trade deal has been struck between Australia and the UK, and it got me thinking about food miles. What are food miles, you ask? Food can't walk, you're right, but what it can do is travel, and it does a lot of it. 25% of lorries on the road are transporting food. Only 1% of our food is transported by air, but that does account for 12% of our transport emissions here in the UK. Each person who has a car travels just under 300 miles a year solely for food. All of this isn't good for the environment, and I've spoke to a few people about this, and what I'm always asked is, so what do we do then? Well, I'm pleased you asked. I'm glad you're talking to me. I haven't spoke to anyone after these 43 lockdowns or however many we've had. The truth is, there's a lot that can be done. The extreme answer would be only eat what is grown near you. I would never tell someone to do that, as a lot of developing nations would lose out on a lot of important trade. Nobody wants that. We're all people on the same planet, and we want to help each other to the best future we possibly can, or we're completely misunderstanding sustainability. The idea of eating what's close to you is definitely part of the solution. In Scotland, we have a climate and general topography that can grow crops in some areas, such as the northeast and through the central belt. The rest of the country, such as the west coast, highlands and islands, is not as suited to grow crops. What it can do though is raise energy in the form of livestock. So what I'm saying is use local farm shops where possible, and where that might be a bit more difficult, be sure to check the label on the shops. For beef and lamb products, you're going to want to look for the Scotch mark. For pork products, you're going to look for specially selected. And then for eggs, you're going to look for the Lion stamp. Another assurance scheme to consider is that of the Red Tractor scheme. What all of these schemes do is assure the products you're buying have been raised in a welfare-aware way, an environmentally aware way, and you can also trace all of those products back to the farm, the field, the shed they were reared in. There are much more of these schemes, so be sure to Google them so you know more about where your food is coming from. Also consider seasonality. So instead of having strawberries in the winter time, eat them with your fingers, as Andy Murray would say. But try to do it in the summer if you can. So thank you all for listening. I really hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you've learned something today. If you've any questions, feel free to send them to me. But one last thought before I go is the next time you're in the supermarket aisles, be sure to source from the British Isles.